What is up, Adrenaline Volleyball listeners on Patreon? We are back again with another Names to Know podcast here with Shandie Ludwig from Vermilion and Rachel Rosenquist of Dakota Valley. So good afternoon, you guys. Thanks for joining us. Well, we always kind of start with these podcasts and asking everyone about their volleyball journey. How you got to where you are. Everyone has a different story. Maybe you switched positions, and just kind of how you fell in love with the sport. So, Rachel, you can go ahead and start us off. Tell us about how you got to where you are.
I started playing impact volleyball through Sioux City with a couple of my friends. I started that in 6th grade, and then that team kind of fell apart because people didn't really want to play volleyball anymore. So then I switched to MVP last year, and it's been fun playing with them, and got to learn a lot of people from Sioux City area instead of the South Dakota area. And at Dakota Valley, I'm an outside hitter and a passer for back row, and for MVP, I've been playing middle, so it's been kind of hard transitioning, like with the blocking and the hitting and stuff, but it's been fun.
Yeah, and how did you kind of find yourself in that situation? Did MVP just need a middle, or, how did you kind of fill that role?
I joined late. The team I'm with has been playing since they were really little, so they've already had set positions, but when I joined, they had a younger player playing up in a position, so when I joined, they just kind of moved a couple people around and just fit me in the middle.
Nice, and that's something you never played before?
Mm-hmm. But
so
yeah.
Decent adjusting period, but we watched you guys a few times this spring. It looks like you're adjusting well. I wouldn't have guessed that you never played middle before.
Yeah.
What about you, Shandie? Let's hear about your story.
My story is not as exciting as that. I started playing with Oak Point. That's where I used to go to school when I was younger. And in middle school, I was a setter. And then when I came to Vermilion, I switched to the libero. And I don't know, I just kind of watched my sister over the years and learned from her. And she taught me a lot. So I didn't really have anyone that taught me besides her. So that's how I became in love with the game.
Yeah. So both of your teams actually lost some key seniors last year, and you both were actually some pretty big role players on your team already. But how are you guys planning on kind of working on that throughout this off season and into the summer, really filling those roles?
I can start. We're losing our setter this year, but during practices, we've had a setter, Logan Miller, go against Allie in practices. So she's kind of learned a lot from Allie over the years. Well, over the last year, she's picked up a lot on Allie. She can do her tips and stuff, and I think she's gonna step up next year and really be good.
Nice. Yeah. What about you as an individual in yourself? It's obviously good to have another player that's able to fill that role, but I'm sure you'll be taking on more of a leadership role. So is that something that you've talked to your coach about, or, what are you kind of working on to be more vocal in that sense?
Yeah, I will be more vocal. Our seniors were a really big part of our team last year, and this year we'll have 3 seniors, I think, and I think we've all learned from the seniors to step up and take control of the team, so I think we'll be good on that.
Awesome. Yeah, what about you, Shandie? How do you plan on kind of filling some of those roles, both leadership-wise and then skill-wise?
Well, we lost 6 seniors, and they all played for us. We lost both of our setters and our middle hitter. And so we just have to we were gonna work on going through the summer and a bunch of camps and open gyms, but that doesn't seem like it's gonna happen anymore. So we've just been texting, and we've been talking about how we need to work on on our own to get better.
Yeah, and you've also always kind of been a louder presence on the court as a libero. Is that something that you plan to continue and maybe kind of bring along some underclassmen with you?
Yes, I know that like a lot of the 8th graders last year, they would go to my coach and like talk about me, and I didn't find that out till the end of the year. So I was like, well, that's like pretty cool, like how they look up to me.
Yeah, it's a good compliment. Now with your guys' school teams, I know both of you have also been a part of a coaching change. Both of your coaches, I believe, have changed in the last 1, 2, 3 years, and that can be really hard for some teams, for some players, individuals. How have you guys kind of adjusted to that, and what was that switching period like? Shandie, we can start with you.
Well, Coach Zeller came when she started when I moved to Vermilion, so I was changing everything, which was really hard because I was getting comfortable with my playing with Oak Point, and then when I switched to Vermilion, I had to meet everyone and get comfortable playing with them. But I've always known Coach Zeller because she was a teacher in Oak Point, so I've always been close with her.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know that connection. What was it? I mean, could you kind of tell? I know you were new too, but was it kind of different for the team to get to know her new drills, all that stuff? Or, I mean, was it more fun, more so a breath of fresh air?
Yeah, they really liked it, a new change to get rolling again, because they weren't very they just hadn't figured out who they were yet. And so they liked the change.
Yeah. Nice. I actually spent a few summers coaching in Vermilion, but that obviously was before you moved there, so you just missed me. But what about you, Rachel? How long has Coach Miller been at Dakota Valley?
When I was in 8th grade, coming up to freshman year, we had Rick Pruitt, which was the MVP director, and then after my freshman year and sophomore year, we had Amy Wiseman, and then Mary Miller just came last year. So she was new to all of us, and I think that with our old coach Wiseman, we just had most of our star players just coming up as freshmen, and then I feel like she didn't place us right that year, position-wise, and so then when Mary Miller came, she watched us play, and she's really smart with volleyball, so she put us in the right positions, and then we were able to go to state this year.
Nice.
That'd be nice.
So, you mentioned that she just watched you guys play and then kind of switched you around from there. Did she implement any new drills that you guys really liked, or just kind of maybe tore apart the puzzle pieces and threw them back together in a different way?
I think at the beginning of the year, which was during the summer, off season, she was really intimidating because she would throw these really hard drills at us that all of us were whoa, these are kind of hard. I don't know about this coach. And then we learned with those hard drills as guys in shape to do skill-wise drills. So it's really helped, and she's became a really nice coach. You can get along with her. She jokes with you. We just have so much fun during practice, and it's a big change, but it's a good one.
Awesome. And either of you can answer this, and I think Shandie, we talked to you about this during the season last year, but how do you as a player kind of start to trust a new coach? Because I know even with getting a new teammate, sometimes it can be hard to really trust what they're saying, and especially when they're the one that's in charge and maybe they're teaching you different techniques, switching your position, anything like that. How do you really build that trust for a new coach?
What I did was I just tried to connect with her and build off of what she was trying to teach us. And at first she just I just learned to listen and do what she says. And then like eventually I learned how like she like played volleyball, and so did like the rest of our players. So we built off of that, and we connected better.
What about you, Rachel?
I think all of our players really love volleyball. I think every single one of us are on a club team. So I think we just wanted to win and just get better. And I think most of us wanted to play volleyball in college. So I think Mary Miller got our mindset that like, oh, you need to work hard to be good and like to win. So I think all of us went with that and worked hard in practice and off season.
Our biggest thing was like we wanted to like prove to like Vermilion that like their volleyball like isn't like as bad like as they like see it, because at the beginning of my sophomore year we didn't really have like a student section or anything, because the year before they only had like 3 wins I think out of their whole season. And so we like going in we really just wanted to like prove to them that like we can do it. So
Yeah, nice. You guys both, your teams kind of really turned it around. I know Dakota Valley has kind of a tradition of winning, but, as you said, the year before last was a really tough year for you guys, just missing out on state. But what was that kind of like to be part of such a transitional year? I know when I was playing, that was, one of the coolest things about my journey is just to be a part of, the ups and downs. And why don't each of you kind of talk about what that kind of felt like to get over the hump when you knew, what the failure felt like before that?
All the other years, like through my middle school years and freshman year, our team has always been known like really good, like, oh, they win all the time and stuff. So when we had that year where we didn't make it to state, I think was hard for us, but just motivated us more this year to go to state, because we all knew we could do it, but I just don't think there was confidence as much as there was this year last year.
Yeah, confidence is huge. About you, Shandie?
I could tell like with my team, like once one person got down on themselves, like everyone just like fell apart, and it was really hard to like get over that, because like usually it like happened for like 2 to 3 games in a row, because like we just didn't build the confidence in ourselves to like believe in ourselves to win. And so like that was really hard to like get over, and like, we tried to do like a lot of team bonding to like, I don't know, like build up ourselves, like our confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys both talk about confidence, and that can be one of those things that's so much easier said than done. Trust me, I've been there. What is your guys' approach to staying confident and kind of like being that leader when your team needs it?
For me, it's like really hard to like, I hate losing, so like it's really hard to like keep my confidence up when we lose. And I just try to like build off like my teammates on the court, like their energy and everything, to stay confident on the court. So like I'm not like, I know a lot of this year I've gotten down on myself, and that's like what brought the whole team down. And like I'm trying to like learn to like just stick with it, and it'll get better. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what about you, Rachel? What are some of the things that you say to yourself maybe after an error or a bad point or something to keep yourself, positive and moving forward to the next point?
I remember at the beginning of the year, if anyone would make a mistake, like we'd like tap on our shoulder like, oh, that's my bad. But then Mary got mad at us, and she's like, you guys can, like, everyone makes mistakes, like don't point it out. If I see you point it out, you guys are gonna run. So then after that, I think everyone's like, okay, yeah, everyone makes mistakes, like we'll get through it, it's the next point. So I think that really helped us in all of our confidence. And I know if someone else gets down on the team, I'll just go up and be like, oh, you'll get the next one. Or, hey, that was a bad pass, like that wasn't a perfect pass, but you can get the next one. Yeah.
the hard thing was with our team, like we had a lot of tension on the court when we'd be losing. So like any like small word or like something like we would sometimes take it like the wrong way. So like one person would try to help them, but they take it the wrong way, and like not like, so we just like argued a lot and it didn't help. We fought a lot on the court as a team. And
I think with my team, we would like, if I made a mistake, I would just go up and be like, oh wow, like that was a really bad pass, like oops, and then people will laugh, and I think that won't like make them as upset, and I'll just be like, hey, I got the next one, like don't worry about it.
Yeah, sometimes all it takes is like a joke that really isn't even funny. Just kind of bring it in and get everyone loose again and ready for the next point.
Definitely doesn't help like when like your whole team's competitive and you just like are losing, because then everyone's just so mad and nothing goes your way.
Yeah, trust me, I've been there. But you know, we talk about competitiveness, and it's actually another thing that you two have in common is, you know, you're both multi-sport athletes. How does that kind of play into, you know, splitting time between multiple sports? Are you more competitive just because you know, compete more often? Or I guess I kind of want to hear about how you guys feel about playing multiple sports.
I've grown up in a really competitive family. I have a sister and 3 brothers, and everyone plays basketball, football, baseball, softball. So we've always been really competitive with each other. We always want to win against each other. Like there would even be like big fights about the littlest things. So I think that, and just playing volleyball or basketball is like really got me to like, oh, I want to win. Like, I don't know. It just made me really competitive and stuff.
I also grew up with 3 brothers and a sister, and I'm the youngest of them all. So like I would always try to look up to them, and like seeing how like competitive they were. I mean, my 2 brothers wrestled, so it's not really the same like with basketball and volleyball. But my sister did basketball and volleyball, and I'd always try to be better than her because we're both really competitive, and we'd fight like if I made a bad pass or like she couldn't set it or something, she'd just yell at me. So we were both really competitive, and it made us both better as like a person.
And how is it hard sometimes, because I know you both play basketball, to kind of like split that season up? Do you feel like you have to play catch up when you get back to volleyball, or do you just kind of feel like you're in a different shape and then it takes you like a week to get back into it?
Well, during my basketball season, we're just starting club season. So I've always been always Dakota Valley, like school sports before club sports. And there's been like a couple weeks where like I won't be able to go to any practices because of basketball games. But I try to fit in my time. Like if I have an early practice, I'll try to go to late practice for volleyball. So then I usually go to all my tournaments for volleyball. There's been one where we scheduled a basketball game practice right after my volleyball tournament. And I was coming from Omaha, so it was kind of hard on that part. And my coach got a little mad at me, but then that's been the only conflict with missing practice for basketball.
I don't really like when it's volleyball season. Like I like to focus on volleyball, so like I'm just like dedicated to that. And then right after volleyball, then I start working on basketball, and I don't do volleyball during basketball. But then like in the summer and spring, like it is like hard to like work on both like at the same time and like use your time like wisely. So it does get hard.
Yeah, when I was growing up, you know, everyone always says they want multi-sport athletes because they're the most competitive and a lot of times the most athletic. But I have the same problem too, is, you know, my volleyball coach would be really happy that I was a multi-sport athlete, but whenever I had softball practice, it was like, well, aren't you a volleyball player? You know, that kind of thing. But it's really good for your body to cross train and not specialize.
And it's hard because you have to like pick and choose like when it comes down to that situation.
I think our MVP is like they want you to do other sports, like they want you to do track. Like it's okay if you miss a couple practices. We just want you in basketball, track, softball, anything you can do to keep you in shape and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the last couple things before I let you guys go and maybe work on some homework if you have any, or hopefully it gets a little bit nicer. Enjoy a decent weekend for once. But how we kind of end a lot of these is asking, what are your goals, both individually and maybe as a team, for the upcoming season? And then just your favorite part about volleyball season, whether it's on the court stuff, off the court stuff with your teammates. But yeah, again, those last two things, then I'll let you guys go.
You want to go first? You got it?
I can go first. I think my goal is to have a better record this season because we lost, I think, 4 games in total, and I want to bring that down a little bit. And state championship, I want to win it. So that'd probably be my goal, which would be worked on in the off season and during practice, which would be the most time spent. So that's probably my goal.
I remember you guys were in the championship, weren't you, for state?
Yeah.
Oh, we're like rivals, and our whole team was rooting for DB because Sioux Falls Christian wins it like every year. So it was really weird to like root for DB when we're rivals, but
Yeah.
That's fun. What are your goals, Shandie?
I just like overall I want to be like a better like teammate to mine because like I know like I'm not very good at that. Like I get down on myself and I bring the whole team down, and I don't know. I just try to like for myself. I want to like work on like being like getting better, like my passes and everything. And I don't know. I have a lot to work on. So
We got a lot of time to work on it.
yeah.
Rachel, what's your favorite thing about volleyball season? I know maybe playing a state championship would be pretty fun, but anything on or off the court that really sticks out as your favorite part of it?
I think my favorite part would be team dinners and the night before, or right before the game. Me and a couple friends will go to like Jimmy John's in Sioux City and we'll go hang out for a little bit before the game. So I think just being with my team off the court is really fun, and we have a lot of team bonding with that, and it's probably my favorite thing about volleyball.
That's funny. That's exactly what me and my teammates used to do. We all
That's what we do too.
the dinners the night before. Our high school is right next to a Jimmy John's, so on game
really
day, I feel like the post.
Do you guys have like team dinners like after like before each game?
We have it before each home game, and then away games we have meals on the way home.
That'd be pretty smart. I have to bring that up. But we just do it like before like regions, I guess. That's like the only time we did team dinner. But my favorite part is like the competitiveness. Like I'm really competitive, and when like my teammates are just as competitive as me, it like I don't know. That's what I like the best. And winning, I love winning. So volleyball, it has its ups and downs, but when it's going good, it's really nice.
Awesome. Well, maybe I lied. I have one more question for you guys, and it's just, really quick and simple, but do you guys have any advice, maybe for some of our younger viewers? Shandie, like you said earlier, it's pretty cool to think that people look up to you guys, and I promise that people do, but if you had one, word of advice to maybe say like a 7th or 8th grader going into one of their first high school seasons, what would you tell them?
I'd probably tell them like always keep your head up. Like you have your ups and downs, and you're gonna lose and you're gonna win, but no matter what, like you still have your teammates' backs.
Awesome. What about you, Rachel?
I would say to always work hard and have a positive attitude, because if you're always positive and like helping others, the coaches will notice that, and then probably like play you more and stuff. And then if you just work hard throughout your entire season, it will pay off in the end. So like example, like state, like if you keep working hard during the season, you can go to state and have fun there with your entire team.
It always
Awesome.
helps to like be connected with your teammates and like have a good bond.
Yeah.
Yep, because one day when you're old like me, that's gonna be the only thing. The awards are cool and the plaques are awesome, but the friends are the best part.
Mhm.
So, but that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me for this quick podcast. It was so much fun getting to know both of you guys and getting to know that you're pretty much the same person. A lot of similarities, even though maybe you're rivals. But thank you guys again, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
You too.
Yeah.